Meanwhile, happening today, speaking of the CDC, the Atlanta-based agency could sign off on an updated COVID-19 vaccine.
Atlanta News First, Rebecca Schramm is joining us live. She's at CDC headquarters, and that new vaccine, Rebecca, is designed to target some of the newest variants because it seems like they're coming up with new ones all the time.
That's right, Gravir and Brooks, good morning to you. You know, the Food and Drug Administration just yesterday signed off on the new formula for the vaccine, and today a CDC advisory panel will meet to consider doing the same. You know, it's been a year since the vaccines were tweaked the last time. Now Moderna and Pfizer have come up with a vaccine that targets a specific COVID strain that's no longer dominant, but it's close enough to the current dominant strain that the FDA determined it would offer good cross protection. Today, we expect the CDC panel will take it a step further and issue recommendations as to who should get this shot and how it should be used.
We know that coronavirus immunity decreases over time, and so that decrease in immunity is probably what's helping drive cases up. And so having a new vaccine now that matches the variants that are circulating will be very helpful in stopping the spread of COVID-19 and keeping everyone healthy.
Now, if the CDC advisory panel and the CDC director sign off on the new formula today, shots could start going into arms later this week. Live at the CDC headquarters in Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Thanks.